Okay, how's everybody doing? Just finished the Idris builds and the Gaslands Car of the Month build a couple days ago, and just wanted to go through everything. And if the camera angle's a little weird, I'm trying something different where I've got the phone down and kind of at an angle, so it's like uh, it's sitting like this. Uh, so maybe I can see what I'm holding. I've noticed a lot of times when I've been holding out a model, like I finished these little guys a couple months ago. Like I've been talking about them, and then I've got them like down here, like, oh hey, this little guy's got a flag. Like, well, you can barely see it. So, trying it this way, see if I can get everything better view. But anyway, so the first of this Idris little fleet was these vehicles, and this is again, you don't have to strip everything down. Sometimes a car has a livery that you like, and you want to keep it that way. I've said this before. It's just, if this is really more of a message for if you're just watching me for the first time. So this is a Michael Waltrip Pontiac. So minigun, oil dropper. So this would be definitely a performance car. And I had this 1978 Dodge truck, and both of them were Pennzoil. So together that creates kind of a theme to build a team around. So, if you wanted to do that, sometimes if you find cars with the same sponsor, or a certain the Ratfink stuff, anything that shares livery, Golf cars, or the Hot Wheels makes a lot of those. So you can build a team around something like that. And so this here was beat up pretty bad. So what I did was I used, where the paint was stripped, I did paint on some primer, and then I painted and made all the paint chipped areas basically become rust spots. And so we'll get this up here a little closer so you can see. And we'll try to get it in focus. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll call it Michael Wallbanger. Because Mikey didn't have that much success in that car. But anyway. So then I got the truck here with the rockets and the side guns and grenades. And so yeah, this is the kind of truck you'd put Hell for Leather on, and it would basically go and chase down the other team's performance cars and stuff, and harass them. And so you imagine this truck's got a souped up engine under there. I was actually thinking about, there is a small little engine in here. I thought about taking the hood off, because this hood did open, but I glued it down. But I ended up, I liked the hood and the intake and everything. So I was like, you know what, I'll just keep everything as it is. So then we got our little dude in the back here, with this shotgun. Not exactly the safest place to be, but again, it's Gaslands, so who's really counting on safety? Then of course we've got the bread and butter of any Idris team. If you're building an Idris team, you should definitely consider having one, and that's your dragster. So this was a Kenner thing, but we got a little combat laser here, a nail art decal. So this is kind of like a green machine kind of vehicle. I'm not really sure what I'd call it exactly, but Really liked how I got that to show up. This is basically I painted the canopy black, and then did a green ink, and then I actually got some actual dry brush brushes. So I was able to do more of a precision dry brushing effect. So I did a like a forest green dry brush, and then I did a like a much brighter green. It's this seafoam green as a top highlight, and then highlight it around here, and then kind of make the glare. I just swiped it off a little bit, and that worked out pretty well. So yeah, I'm thinking this one would be basically combat laser armor plating, because it's kind of a chunky dragster, but it's still got the jet engine at the back. And I guess I got dualies on it. But so yeah, real good vehicle. Most of the time though, if you really do want to build for meta, even though Gaslands really doesn't have much of a meta, you could put it rear-mounted weaponry or side-mounted weaponry, because you're going to be ahead of everybody. But this is one I just built because I like the idea of the way it looked. And then we've got this vehicle here. This is a Ferrari 156, and you could run this as a performance car if you wanted, but I used a little air intake thing and then just put it on backwards. So now it's, you know, more of a representation of a jet engine. And one reason I did that is because this car is kind of small, and it's about the size of what you would expect a 4-hull vehicle to be. And so we got the bazooka here, because this one here is going to be chasing down other fast vehicles that are going to be accumulating lots of hazards, so might as well help push them over the limit. But I kind of like how that one looks too. Now the little guy in there is from Creepy Hero Studios. So again, I'm not sure what I'll call this one, but it turned out pretty good, I guess. Then we've got this here. It's not technically a Idris vehicle, but you can definitely use it for an Idris one. I got this off of Temu, the little 3D printed buggy. So it comes molded all together in this one piece, which made it really pain in the butt to paint on the inside. But got that done. Added the combat laser. So this is a machine gun combat laser buggy. And again, that's one of the advantages of buggies in general, is because they come with a free roll cage and 2 slots. So that gives you a wide range of weaponry to choose from. So yeah, this is again one of those vehicles that you could say could be a good Idris vehicle for chasing down people and harassing them. Or you could use this for a lot of the other teams too. Just about anybody but Rutherford. I don't know how googly eye got stuck over there, but anyway. And we've got some more of our NASCAR cars. We've got our Donnie Allison. Again, I'm a little disappointed I couldn't find the actual car that he drove. But I still kind of like how this looks. And this will go with my Bobby Allison Buick. So they'll make a good team together. Basic idea is, you know, Sentry gun dropper. This was a Molotov box. I just cut the tops of the Molotovs off, so it looks more like it's got like these round objects that would fall out. And see if we can get this to come into focus. Yeah. And yeah, so I would have liked to had the right car, but for the Hawaiian Tropic sponsor, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. I did add a NASCAR decal to the trunk lid just to give it a little more detail to it. But yeah, basically round and roll cage. So, you know, he can start fights with Kelly Arborough. Then we got Curtis Turner. Again, this is another one that I didn't need to change the paint scheme's already good. Just needed to rough it up a little bit so it looks like it's seen some track time. And so we got the machine guns, roll cage, and oil droppers. And so yeah, beautiful vehicle, I think. 63 Galaxies are cool. But again, you definitely want your dropper weapons in Idris vehicles. And then we've got this one here. And this is, I'm not sure. Again, this is another one. I'm not really sure what I want to call it. These are 3D nail art decals. Not super crazy how they turned out because they're so thick that you can kind of see the outline of the nail art. Even after the weathering and everything, it's hard to hide. It is kind of neat from a distance. The 3D effect does kind of pop, but I'm not super crazy about how it turned out. Turned out pretty good on the rear end of the car, though. But you see, it's already starting to come up again. Even with Mod Podge, it's not really wanting to hold down. So I'm not super keen on this type of decals. Again, I got these from Temu too. So normally nail art decals are really good to work with for Gaslands, but I'll probably have to see about maybe heating it up with a lighter, see if I can get it to stay down. But anyway, so this one's got rockets. You could, since this is a pro stock vehicle, you could say this one has nitrous. You can always say the parachute's a dropper of some type. Because again, they probably take the parachute part out of the vehicle for Gaslands. Yeah. Another thing, this was supposed to be a silver. This turned out like a champagne color. I recently bought this metallic set, and yeah, that is their silver. That's more of a champagne color than a silver. It's almost a cream color, metallic cream. But I do like the little cross and skulls and roses and little crows on the side. It's a Thunderbird, so it should have some bird motif to it. And we got the Thunderbolt done up in Night Lord style. I'm happy with the way I did the lightning. Lightning's kind of hard to do. It basically requires about 3 different layers of jagged lines to get it to look right. You gotta do like a kind of a dark blue and then a medium blue and then the highlight over the white lines. Am I getting a glare? Or is that, okay, so you can see that. But so yeah, I think this turned out good. And might do more the Chaos Gods cars, or not Chaos Gods, but the Chaos Legions. But the 90-pound Cuttle Missile found an interesting leaf or something to bark at. But Anyway, yeah. So I like that one, how that one turned out. And then we've got this one. Again, I made this for Idris because it has the jet engine. Kind of think this could also be a really good Michigan vehicle. But 2 combat lasers. Kind of did like the blue from like a Vault-Tec jumpsuit. And then I just used the yellow, like these come off of the Petronian transfers, and little lightning bolts come off of Eldar, and so it kind of looks like a Poseidon energy kind of thing. And so this one again turned out pretty good. I'm really happy with it. It's very simple. We got the 2 combat lasers up at the front, and so yeah. Could run this as Nitrous, could run this as a dragster. I mean, this is one of those versatile vehicles. But I'm kind of tempted to toss this over to my Michigan fleet, because I think this looks better. It turned out a lot better for what I was expecting. We've got the Rampage. Rampage turned out pretty good. Going from try to do like a transition from red to orange to yellow. Again, this was all the metallics that were out of that new set that I bought. Most of these cars were painted with the colors from that set. If I had to give that whole set a rating, I'd say it's a 6 out of 10. It's as good as Walmart or Hobby Lobby kind of paint, but you know, you get what you pay for. But so I got these little Cobra decals on the side, and there's lady here, a little Magnum, and again, this is probably the one real kind of meta for Idris vehicle, because you've got a turret mounted weapon to basically shoot backwards or harass faster vehicles, as I'm running this as a car. But then you also got the glue dropper, and you've got someone that can cause hazards with the Magnum. And yeah, I think this is a good one to play around with. But yeah, again, I do these builds and I really don't even think about names of vehicles. Again, I really haven't put too much naming thoughts to them yet, but some of them will probably go to the store too. So then we got this one. This is another one of those vehicles that's really just screams Idris. So you've got the big dually tractor tires. You've got a napalm dropper. You've got machine guns tucked up into the front. It's stripped down. It's got a huge engine. You know, everything about this just says, I want to go fast. And I'm worried about my quarter-mile times and also taking out the opponent. So then we also got the guy here with the submachine gun. But yeah, this was originally, like I said, a McDonald's. As I said in the previous video, it was a McDonald's vehicle. Yeah, it was a mess because it was not only riveted down, it had like one of those little weird triangle screws that never want to come out. And then we've got the one I just broke. Crap. Well, anyway, that's not quite broke, but the glue came loose. If anybody knows what a good glue to use, because all I got is Elmer's and the Mod Podge. This plastic doesn't want to hold to the thing here. But designed this card with a little help from AI stuff, and I don't really like doing AI, but I didn't really have much options. The template was already available, and the artwork, the car is mine. It's just it did that filter over it, so it's not too egregious. If I had more time, I'd probably do something with Photoshop, but overall, it still turned out pretty good. And plus, this is for my own personal use, so this car is never going to get sold. Just gotta get the thing glued back in now. But it's basically cereal box card printed out on photo paper. So at least now, at least it came out. I guess I can show it to you. So yeah, this is Buddy Baker's 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. Front-mounted machine gun, rear-mounted minigun. Again, this is kind of like I said, this is an Idris vehicle where you've got a lighter weapon to harass vehicles like buggies and bikes, and you've got the heavier vehicle to take out the things that are slower than you and chasing you. So, yeah. So that's that. I am going to put this back in the package because I like how it looked. I was going to use this as a car for my collection, but I think I'm just going to put it in the package and put it on my wall. So there's a little bit of 40K decaling in here with the Orc things and stuff, because I didn't have the original decals, and the only other place I could find 1/64 scale decals for this particular car that I wanted to make was a slot car website, and it looked a little sketchy, and plus it was like $11, so plus shipping, so I didn't bother with it. I just kind of made a more of an homage than the actual car. But the important thing about it is this was the reason I did Wasteland Legends and everything was it was the first stock car to break the 200-mile-an-hour barrier. So, you know, as an Idris vehicle, it would be like the Holy Grail almost. You know, if you imagine, you know, it'd be like finding a piece of the cross for Christians to find a vehicle like this, and then get to use it in a death race. So that's why I did what I did. But anyway, that's what I did for Idris. So next month we'll be doing slime, and the fun thing about slime is they basically are the Ram crazy cars, and it's when we talk about the tactics, I'll get into a lot of the pros and cons of that faction. But for now, I think this has turned out really good. So let me know what your favorite one is. Like I said, this one's gonna get back. Put this one back in. This one's gonna be on the wall. Just gotta find a better glue. I'll try the Elmer's glue again. Maybe it'll hold. But yeah. So I do hope y'all enjoyed. And if I sound down, it's just because I'm trying to keep my voice down. My folks or my brother and my mom are both kind of under the weather, so I don't want to be screamy and yelly and everything. But I do hope you enjoyed. You know, like, share, subscribe. Comments are always welcome. And you know, if you really want to support what I do, again, I say it before, I say it all the time. I have an Etsy store, King of Cats Crafts, and you know, there'll be a link in the comments. I mean, not the comments, but the description thing. with that in mind, I don't know. The Ides of March are upon us. Take care, be safe, and goodbye.